What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So why am I not buying the 6th generation 4Runner yet? So in December 2024, I put a deposit down on a brand new 2025 4Runner, but just last week I took myself off the wait list, canceled my deposit and requested a refund. There are a number of reasons why I did this, and in this video I'm going to go over 5 reasons why you might want to as well. And we'll also be doing a product giveaway, so stay tuned. So the new 2025 4Runner was long overdue, and at first I could not wait to get my hands on one. On paper it looked great. It has more power, better fuel efficiency, and more tech. And the new look, I don't know. I definitely like the interior. So there are a number of reasons why I wanted to get one, but I also had some hesitations as well. So let's go over 5 reasons why it might be wiser to wait a year or two before dropping some serious coin. And it is serious coin. But before we get started, the kind folks over at Lasfit have offered to give away 2 sets of their full floor mats for the 5th generation 4Runner. All you have to do to enter is follow T4R Garage on Instagram and Lasfit on Instagram and leave a comment on my latest post. You should have a pretty good chance of winning, and I absolutely love these mats. They have been protecting my 4Runner for the last 6 months and they still look brand new. All the details to apply for the giveaway are in the Instagram post, but 2 winners will be randomly selected live June 9th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Instagram. All right, so reason number 1, production issues and recalls in the first year. Now let's talk about recalls. As much as I love the idea of being the first to own a vehicle, recalls are a reality that can affect any manufacturer, Toyota included. And looking at history, there's a good chance we could see some hiccups with the 2025 4Runner. In fact, we already are, but we'll get into that later on in the video. Before we get into the known issues with the 2025 4Runner, let's look at the last 2 releases, the Tacoma and the Tundra, starting with the all-new 2024 Tacoma. That thing had some initial recalls related to damaged brake hoses and seat belts. And then there was the 2022 Tundra engine recall, which in my opinion was a complete disaster. The recall alone is going to cost Toyota between $300 to $500 million. I'm really hoping Toyota has ironed out the kinks with the 2025 4Runner. It's similar to the Tacoma, but with new tech, design changes, along with all new production at a different facility. It's hard to say for sure. And in fact, while I was making this video, Toyota announced a QC hold on the 2025 4Runner while they investigate reports of pieces literally falling off the vehicle. I personally don't want to buy a brand new vehicle only to deal with issues just a few months down the road. I follow most of the 6th gen 4Runner groups, and plenty of new owners are already having similar complaints. So far, the most common complaints are brakes squealing while reversing or backing up. So just imagine getting your brand new 4Runner home and everyone on the street is congratulating you on your big new purchase, only to hear a loud squealing sound coming from your vehicle the next morning as you back out of your driveway. It's kind of embarrassing and not cool. Another common issue is the air dam literally just falling off on the highway. I've heard multiple reports of this, and now the rumors have been confirmed. Toyota has paused production and delivery for a bit as they investigate this. I guess having parts flying off your vehicle on the highway isn't the safest. One forum user took their 4Runner back to the Toyota dealer, only to have the dealer initially blame the air dam issue on them, claiming the owner would be responsible for paying $500 in replacement costs. But this is now becoming so common that there's no way they can deny it. I've also seen multiple complaints about paint chipping, peeling, or having defects, and also some complaints about fitment and uneven body gaps. So these are typical first-year production issues that you commonly see when a vehicle first goes into production. Fortunately, Toyota is really good with dealing with these things, but it's still a pain in the butt. All right, so number 2, reliability concerns. We all know Toyota has a reputation for reliability. That's one of the biggest reasons why many of us choose this brand. But here's the thing, when you start introducing new tech and fresh designs, that track record can get a little murky. With the 2025 model, I'm not quite sure the same level of reliability is going to be there right out of the gate or even at all. Fortunately, the 4Runner is still being manufactured in the Tahara plant in Japan, and this plant has a really good reputation with decades of experience. So it's still a Toyota, but let's remember it's a newer 4-cylinder turbo engine that is pushing a lot of weight. Toyota is known for creating simple yet bulletproof drivetrains that don't require much maintenance. This new engine, which is called the T24A FTS, especially when paired with the iForce Max hybrid option, is a step away from this approach. Historically, Toyota has produced, simple engines that don't wow or, push the envelope in terms of performance, but they are now moving into a more complicated, performance-driven model. They're mainly doing this, I think, to satisfy environmental regulations. The last couple new productions have had their issues with things like engine manufacturing defects, transmission issues, and even suspension quirks that take time to iron out. So while it might be reliable in the long run, I want to give it some time. Toyota has, however, put this new 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine in the Land Cruiser, Toyota 4Runner, Tacoma, Highlander, and in some Lexus vehicles. I'm sure the engine has been perfected. If it starts to have issues, Toyota would literally be ruined. This engine has been in the Highlander now for a few years. However, the 4Runner seems to be the heaviest vehicle they're putting this in, so it'll be the ultimate test probably for this 4-cylinder engine. Okay, number 3, cost. So is it worth waiting for the 6th gen 4Runner to drop in costs, and will it? Right now, there is a wait list at most dealerships for the 6th generation 4Runner. These dealers aren't offering any discounts or promotions, and why should they? Supply is low, and the initial excitement and demand means many dealers are actually adding creative markups in a lot of cases. When I contacted my dealer and asked if I could be one of the first, I was basically told I would need to pay above MSRP in the way of paint protection packages and extended warranties. This was the only way I would be guaranteed to be one of the first to get the 6th generation 4Runner here in Canada. This was disheartening, but do I blame them? They are running a business, and if they can capitalize on people's excitement, why not try, I guess. In the end, I told the salesman I would only pay MSRP, and if I wasn't going to be one of the first, I might just cancel my deposit and he would lose a sale. And that's exactly what happened. Look at the Land Cruiser 250 launch. At first, there was a lot of initial excitement, and now they are literally piling up on the lots, many going for below MSRP now. Mind you, that's usually for the 1958 model, which in my opinion is overpriced for having things like cloth seats. In a year or two, we should see discounts and even dealer incentives with hopefully lower financing costs. If you aren't afraid of the first batch, you might even save a few dollars on a lightly used, 2025 model that somebody's trying to sell. All right, so reason 4, parts and information availability. Most people that buy 4Runners want to go out, off-roading and explore. This means there's a huge market for aftermarket parts and accessories. I follow a lot of the companies, and many of them are 3D scanning one day, manufacturing the next, and listing the parts for sale the following week. I don't see any extensive testing going on beforehand. It just seems like a big race for who can get this stuff out on the market first, and you may just end up being a guinea pig for these new unrefined products. There could be compatibility issues, rubbing issues, and small tweaks that take place over the next couple of years as these products are, refined to perform well, especially with other components. I've slapped plenty of parts on my 5th gen 4Runner over the last years, and many of these parts have been out for years and still have a few little quirks and small mods you have to do to actually make them work correctly. So there's just not a lot of parts out there, and the parts that are out there, I feel like they're being rushed to get out to market. So how many times have you also had issues with one of your vehicles and found information, on a forum or something to guide you? There will likely be no information out there at this point, and you'll likely be relying on dealerships and their service department. And honestly, they probably don't have a lot of knowledge yet on these vehicles either. So it might be worth it to wait for, better parts and just more information to be out there for the 6th gen 4Runner. All right, so reason 5, if you wait, you'll have more options. So when I was on the wait list, I was basically told I would get whatever was available first. If I wanted a specific color, model, or hybrid option, or even worse, a combination of things, it could take over a year. That's what I was told. I would imagine in a year or two, this initial excitement will wear off, and you'll be able to more easily find your desired allocation for what you want, whether that's, the model, the color, or the power plant. Now, if you need a brand new vehicle and plan to get the 6th generation 4Runner soon, just know Toyota does stand behind their vehicles like no other brand. Toyota follows the Kaizen motto, which in Japanese means continuous improvement. This approach translates to, small changes slowly over time to carefully improve an existing concept or design. The new 4Runner is a large leap forward though in tech and performance. I'm a diehard Toyota fan, so I really hope this model lasts the test of time. I do plan on getting the 6th gen in probably 2027. Until then, I will keep modifying and exploring with our trustworthy 5th generation 4Runner. We have some great adventures planned for 2026, where we will need a tried and tested platform like the 5th gen 4Runner that we currently own. All right, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. I hope to come up with a lot more videos, and I do always appreciate your guys' support. Don't forget about that contest on Instagram. Don't forget to apply. You have a pretty good chance of winning. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye now.